My name is Jesse McBarrow, and you are looking at Mending Minds.
Tell us your mending mind moment.
I will say set goals.
A lot of people get so caught up in the what, they forget the why. There's this fixation of this is what I'm going to do, and they forget why.
Yeah.
You pursue that in the first place.
Good evening to all our viewers. You are live with us on Plus. We stream live on Tego TV, Facebook, and YouTube. And you're here with us for another edition of Sunset, our evening show. I'm your host this evening, Randolph Bhoodoo. And here with me are Camille Moore and Jermaine Manswell. How are you guys doing this fine evening?
We're good.
Jermaine?
Great.
Yes,
Truly grateful to be alive and to be here and to be present.
Are you all ready? Because we're going to go through some hot topics this evening. Are you all ready?
What you have for us today, Randolph?
I'm not sure if you all heard, but we're going international. And we're
Alright.
going into the realm of music and all that drama that comes with it. So the Mongol, Sean Diddy Combs, who was at first Puff Daddy, then he went to P. Diddy. Now he's Diddy. He's been around for quite a while, and he is at the cover of a lot of newspapers. He is on a lot of media, all over social media, because what happened is his two homes, both in LA and in Miami, were raided by Homeland Security investigations as part of their ongoing investigations into allegations of, hear this, human trafficking. During the exercise, two of his sons were detained. They were taken off in cuffs, and now he's nowhere to be found. They're still searching for him and trying to figure out this. So two different homes raided by Homeland Security. And that's where we're at. The allegation is human trafficking. Where did this stem from?
I mean, firstly, is this surprising to any one of us sitting at this table?
I don't know how to respond to that.
Okay, well, let me just go into some more details, right? It says here, last year, November, a legal case was initiated against Mr. Combs by ex-partner and R&B artist Cassie, who also claimed that during a decade-long relationship, I mean, a decade is 10 years. That's a very long time to feel captured, to feel a certain way. I mean, we could go back to almost slavery days. So let me dive deeper into it. Mr. Combs supplied her with narcotics and physically harmed her. The matter was resolved quickly in a day. How a matter could of that
Well, that's what I thought about too.
in a day?
So it had me wondering, okay, was there some validity to that lawsuit? Because we know how lawsuits go on, and they come to a quick settlement. It didn't even go before the courts. They settled out of court. So it had me wondering.
So
Just the quickness of it.
So Randolph, is this a case where money is involved, where people are being paid?
My honest opinion will be totally different,
No, well,
because later down in that description of the article, it says that she was seeking, Cassie, she was seeking $30 million in damages. So if this was dismissed in a day, it's probably because she got what she was seeking. Additionally, she probably achieved something else, which was damaging his reputation. Let's understand this scenario. They could raid his home. And the basis of this from the Attorney General's office or the Office of the Homeland Security, what evidence do they need? It could be a simple call. It could be simple evidence, because let's think about what a lawyer needs to carry something forward. Half of a lawyer's work is understanding facts. The next 50% or more of that lawyer's job is to be able to present that facts in such a way to get what they want. And in this case, it was a warrant. And if every other thing that came before a court, not in Trinidad, in the United States got dismissed, maybe these are consistent attacks on the man's reputation. Because the media behind this will not stop. He could be found. He could go to court tomorrow. This could be dismissed. Or it could be some minor fine. Follow what I'm saying? Eh? It could be as simple as a young girl being misplaced at a party at his mansion, and they are now saying that minors were involved in human trafficking something. And it's dismissed, but the damage to his reputation goes on.
Right.
This is a different dynamic from just if me and you do something wrong.
But you know what I'm also thinking? Okay, so Cassie was the first with her lawsuit, but other women are coming forward stating that, you know, there are allegations of rape and being detained. So I'm wondering, I mean, not everybody could be lying here. So it just, yes, I understand an attack on his reputation, I get that, but then again, I'm wondering, where was he? So 2 of his homes, he wasn't there. So I'm wondering, okay, did he flee the country? Because I mean, TikTok is all a buzz right now.
Yeah, TikTok is actually saying that he is somewhere in the Caribbean, in Antigua, on his way to another country that has no extradition. But again, this is all hearsay and they say.
Guys, I wanna dive deeper into what they're saying here. They say a detailed 73-page long was presented the previous month before, recorded by producer Rodney Jones, which positions the multimillionaire as a habitual offender of sexual abuse. So it ties back into what you said just now. But at the same time, as Camille said, too much people have the same complaint.
Yeah.
Too much people have the same complaint. So I mean, that says something, right?
It does. And again, the whole thing of human trafficking, sex trafficking, we cannot take that topic lightly. Now,
Definitely.
it doesn't matter who you are. Yes, we know him as famed rapper and, you know, producer and whatnot. But the crime behind it, that's a serious one. And he could be using his fame. We're not saying that he's the ringleader, but he could be part of that sort of, you know, trafficking ring.
As you're saying that, and I want you all to touch on this very quickly for me because our time on this topic is wrapping up, right? In your opinion, both of you, 20 seconds each, what is human trafficking? What is human sex trafficking? Jameen?
Human sex trafficking could be one of the most, for me, in my own opinion, is one of the most heinous things can be ever done to a human.
A human. What is human?
I'm going with
trafficking?
modern slavery.
Huh?
So just think of it slavery, but it's instead of centuries ago, it's now 2024 and it's still happening. That's what we're doing
That's
with
actually
human trafficking.
defiling the laws of other
Right, and let's
people.
pause for a minute, because that's what the media is creating. When it is we hear that P. Diddy, Sean Combs is involved in human sex trafficking, people are instantly imagining a situation where he has some basement and he has these people who are taken from a foreign country or taken from their homes in America, placed here and are being forced to do sex acts. That is the worst form of human sex trafficking, just like there is the worst form of murder.
Yes.
And when you hear about murder in a court, there are different counts of murder. There are different counts of owning a firearm. So for instance, I would be charged a different way for having an illegal firearm just in possession, as opposed to taking it out and shooting somebody. But let's understand there are different dimensions of human sex trafficking and having minors. So for instance, all these allegations, because part of it spoke about a minor, as I said, it could simply be somebody who had a fake ID and was at a party. This man is world famous, and let us add that he has had some positive light within the recent months or years with his new fashion designs. People have been capturing him with his new wife, holding hands, putting long jackets for her to cross over puddles. Doesn't that beg for persons who are hating on him to give some kind of negative response? But again, coming back to human trafficking, if you engage in illegal prostitution, even if the person is willing, accepts it, but let's say they are illegal migrants in your country, that could be construed as human trafficking. And for somebody who is not myself or you, Camille or Jermaine, think about how they would expand that beyond what it is and make a mountain out of a molehill. Because look at what both of you all said, eh? Human trafficking, worst thing, slavery, sex. Think about it in a minor situation like that, and you are publicizing it, maximized like this.
Rand, to be honest, you touch on it so much, you butter it up so much that there's nothing left for me to say, because even speaking about it, it touches a nerve. Because, I mean, you home hugging up your daughters one night, and an invasion happened, boom. The next night you asking yourself, where is my daughter?
Of course.
Where is my daughter?
Of course.
And by that time, she already miles out in the sea, not knowing where she is, with other strangers. I mean, how could you feel as a mother or a father knowing that you're not going to see, and that, worse yet, you knowing that is what the purpose of the crime was?
Yeah. And that takes away the light now from Sean Combs, and let's do that. And let's talk about this. I can't even find a word for it. This horrible act that you all just described. In its essence, human sex trafficking. And how do we combat that? How does law enforcement and policies combat that? Or us as a society, because you're not a lawmaker, us as a society.
I think we just have to, again, that awareness is key. You know, if they say you see something, say something is very important. You know, sometimes especially with our young, but anybody could be targeted. It has no age in this. So we can't just say, well, it's just the children, adults, young adults, elderly. It's literally anyone that could be taken up at any moment and sold into this ring, so it were.
Okay, so allow me, guys, diving deeper into the question you just asked. How does that play a part now when in today's society, I cannot talk to Randolph child or Camille's son? So in an essence to combat that now, it's kind of difficult at the same time, because today you can't talk to Camille's son. Today you can't talk to Randolph child.
A 16-year-old now who is legally under the age, you are seeing them with somebody who doesn't look like they should be them, an older person, taking them into a car. And you as an adult now, as opposed to 20 years ago, has to just walk past and be like, that's not my business. I can't talk to the people.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, it's a difficult thing. I still say, you know, we have to intervene. If it's okay, maybe we don't approach, but maybe we have the technology.
But how would you know when your neighbor is telling you can't discipline my child? I mean, you know something. I mean, again, he asks, how do we combat it? So in my mind now, I am just kind of simultaneously thinking, how could we really combat it by avoiding these small factors? Because really and truly today, Camille and Randolph, it is difficult to even...
This is another episode of Life Matters, and I am your host, Latina Matter. Give us some insight into what is Miss Earth and what is so special about this pageant.
Okay, so like many pageants, there are a purpose behind the crown. So Miss Earth in particular, it's all about the awareness of the environment, and I'm basically an ambassador informing everyone to take care of their environment and their surroundings.
Take this moment, guys, to advocate the importance of mental health awareness, ensuring that this is something that is started to be placed in schools, in these school curriculums.
Yes.
Why aren't we having easy therapy access to schools, to parents, to the children? You know, that is something that we need to get some hands written about, right?
My name is Jesse McBarrow, and you are looking at Mending Minds.
Tell us your mending mind moment.
I will say set goals.
A lot of people get so caught up in the what, they forget the why. There's this fixation of this is what I'm going to do, and they forget why. You know, you pursue that in the first place.
all right, guys, and welcome back to Sunset the Evening Show. Ensure you look at us Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. We have reruns 11 p.m. nightly and 12 midday the next day. You can get us on Tego TV, Facebook, and YouTube. So, Camille, what are we discussing now?
So, today's Guardian, guys, I read an editorial about overambition.
How do you identify someone who is overambitious?
Well, I mean, in this case, how he had set up the article, right? It was a political thing. So he kind of described, you know, political leaders going after others in a kind of cutthroat manner. So it wasn't just, okay, I've taken over as leader, I'm going to guide others, but it's like, yeah, I'm going to do whatever by the hook or the crook to either maintain this power or to seize more power. So, in a sense, overambition on that side, it can be a negative, where you're stepping over other person's feet, toes, whatever, to get ahead.
Is that ambition, though, or is that greed? If you're following what I'm saying, is that ambition,
or does it
is
has
greed?
anything to do with the ego? I think it has a lot to do with the ego. The ego comes out and he's in charge now, and he wants to show off to everybody that he can do the job better than anybody else, because obviously when you feel you're too overconfident. But I must say to everybody who feel they are over ambitious that confidence without clarity is a disaster.
Yeah, and I was about to comment on that, because is it really that somebody could have over ambition or misplacement of the skill set associated with ambition? So for instance, right, if my skill set is singing or playing an instrument or talking to people, and I'm out here trying to be an engineer, but I have a baseline of really, really good ambition, all the elements that need to come together. I'm fighting hard with my musical and instrument ability to program or to become an electrical engineer. And it's not natural in me. What would happen? I would seem overambitious. I would seem burnt out. I would seem X, Y, and Z. But let's put it across the successors. People who have seen success, like Jeff Bezos with Amazon. He spent how much hours a day? 25 hours in a day building Amazon, and he is where he is at right now. Right? So is it a question of there is something as overambition, or there is something as misplaced ambition?
Okay. So this topic here is very serious, because I think we need to compartmentalize it.
Right.
Because when we use the word ambition, it stands as something positive to become or positive to do. But when we use over-ambitious or over-ambition, we're talking about, for me, we're talking about another entity within you overstepping you as the primary factor, doing what you have to do. So over-ambitious people would always be referred to as cocky.
Right.
Or feel the day, feel you better than me. So you will always get those type of terminologies towards those type of people. And sometimes those are the people inadvertently sometimes do very well, because they have the
confidence,
energy and the confidence. And but you could easily identify somebody who is over ambitious, but just not because they're not performing at the best. You could tell.
Okay, but if we take ambition at its core, then what drives ambition for you, Camille?
Well, I mean, for me, it would be like a goal I have to attain. I want to, you know, realize the best possible outcome for myself, right? But if I'm thinking in terms of the negative, okay, I could get fully stressed out while trying to, you know, achieve this goal. I could neglect my family and friends and then just zero in on my job, right? So that's how I was looking at it. It's like, yes, I understand the positive of it, but then anything extreme, once you go outside of moderation, right, where you start neglecting your health and doing things that do not have integrity, you know, you're doing things to just get ahead. That's where it kind of starts to be too much then.
Okay. Now, I still stand by my point in terms of what we're discussing as overambition is a bit separate from ambition. And it happens when it is ego, overconfidence comes into play. Because generally, people who are coming from nothing to something, when you read their success stories, it has a lot to do with doing things quiet.
Very good.
Working hard. And when the success comes and you're there already, then it is you come to the light. Because I'm sure a lot of you all, when it is you're on the brink of a really strong goal you've been working for, you stay generally quiet about it because you don't want anybody to mess with that. So people who have true ambition, they are quiet a lot of the times. So over ambition itself now comes into place when you let the ego come in, when you let your overconfidence come in. Final comments on that, Jermaine?
It's not much of comments. I would like each and everyone to find the self within the self to really captivate the essence of what they want to accomplish. And it's not about other people's opinions. It's not about what other people think or say. You just have to dig in, set the goal, and get it done. You asked Camille a while ago what drives her ambition.
Yeah.
For me, it's purpose. Once you have purpose, you have ambition.
Your final comments on this topic, Camille?
Again, I would say find that balance. It can't be the extreme, right? So in finding your purpose, you still need to take care of yourself. You still need to connect, have that human connection. So that's it. That's my takeaway.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking about, pursuing my goal, I must have some balance in the midst of it all.
Yeah, and for me, just to wrap this up and so that we can move on, I will definitely talk about misplaced ambition as well. You have to do an analysis of yourself and understand where your skill set and talents lie. And make sure that your line of ambition and where you're putting all of this energy is aligned with that. So that, and of course, mitigate that ego, mitigate that confidence. Do things quietly. Work hard in silence. Put your best foot forward. Balance your family, balance your mental health, and then push forward with the ambition. So where are we going from here, Jermaine?
Guys, it's a bit of it's a sad story, but at the same time, it's worthy of talking about because these are the unfortunate situations that happens very rarely. But at the same time, it's significant because it means a lot to other people. So, a trap gun kills man digging for yam. Guys, can I say it again? Trap gun kills man digging for yam. How could we sum that up to even start talking about it? Allow me to read a little bit into the story so that you'll get more essence of it. A 22-year-old Karen Ross was killed by a trap gun while digging for yams in the forest area of, is it? Maturita Extension Bypass Road, Arima, with his neighbor. Condolences to the family.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate that something like this could happen. According to reports, around 2 in the afternoon that day, Ross ventured deeper into the woodland, leaving his companion by the riverside. So actually, guys, he left his partner and gone wandering alone. So you see, sometimes when we're going on hikes and these things, is to stay with the group. Staying with the story, the neighbor claimed that it wasn't until 1 a.m. on Sunday that he finally navigated a search, and villagers found the body 7:30 the next morning. I mean, what are your thoughts on this, guys?
Well, to be quite honest, I'm not in the hunting space, so this was a whole new revelation for me in terms of trap guns, laying this sort of devices in the forest for anyone to happen upon, right? And then here they are just trying to venture, do their trade, and then this happens. I mean, it has me wondering, this sort of thing, is it legal in our country? To lay these sort of...
No, well, first of all, he wasn't hunting. He was digging for yams. So which means he was looking for sustenance.
But the question
we have to reflect just at least for a couple of seconds to the fact that we always talking about the youth and the negative activities. He was looking for yam, probably to go to the market, shed and sell. And to answer the question as well, yes, trap guns are illegal. And in a positive light, a couple of years ago, many years ago, a farmer was having problems with people thieving his animals, and he set up trap guns which shut off a bandit's leg, and the farmer was charged. That's just to show you how illegal it is. And I'm sure this wasn't somebody's personal property, maybe because it was near to a river, and this child, this youth, lost his life.
So that brought me to my next question to you guys. Do you think it was a case of him going in somebody else's garden to steal the yam, or is it a garden that they set up for themselves, but he probably didn't remember, and it happened to him? I mean, it could fall on any one of those sides.
That is true. Yeah, I didn't get the impression that he was going to steal, but then again, I mean, they will still have their investigations and whatnot. But you know, it just is a very unfortunate thing to lose your life when you're trying to do some good.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I wanna add to that, though, in terms of you don't get the impression. If you are going to thief, your friend not gonna rock back by the river while you wander off and then miss you for 2 hours. Persons who are stealing are a lot more alert.
Yeah.
Think about it. If me and you go to do a heist, which we will never do, Jimmy, you're going to be aware of me. You're going to wonder, hey, if I don't come back in this time frame, let's go see what's going on with my friend. Let's see what's going on. So he didn't go to steal for me. That's my conclusion with the evidence given, because the friend was left there. And with that, guys, we're going to a short break and we'll come back.
This is another episode of Life Matters, and I am your host, Latina Mata. Give us some insight into what is Miss Earth and what is so special about this pageant.
Okay, so like many pageants, there are a purpose behind the crown. So Miss Earth in particular, it's all about the awareness of the environment, and I'm basically an ambassador informing everyone to take care of their environment and their surroundings.
Take this moment, guys, to advocate the importance of mental health awareness, ensuring that this is something that is started to be placed in schools, in these school curriculums.
Yes.
Why aren't we having easy therapy access to schools, to parents, to the children? You know, that is something that we need to get some hands written about, right?
First book in the Bible is a book you've probably heard of. It's called Genesis.
Genesis comes from a Hebrew word. It's pronounced reshit, and it just means beginning.
Now, there's a lot of stories from the book of Genesis, and it's easy just to pull out a specific story and try to tell you what it might mean. But we think the best way to understand this book is to look at the book as a whole and show you how the whole thing is designed.
My name is Jesse McBarrow, and you are looking at Mending Minds.
Tell us your mending mind moment.
I will say set goals.
A lot of people get so caught up in the what, they forget the why. There's this fixation of this is what I'm going to do, and they forget why.
Yeah.
You know, you pursue that in the first place.
Welcome back, guys, on today's edition of Sunset on PlusTV.
Yes.
Find us every day here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. We have reruns at 11 p.m. nightly and 12 midday the next day. And we're continuing our topic on the young man who was seeking yams in Matarita Extension Bypass Road, and he was killed by a trap gun. And let's pivot from here going forward that the gunshot wound was found in his head. Now, I might understand it a little way that trap gun is not something that aims low for animals bypassing maybe your legs. The interactions I've heard with trap guns was persons getting injuries on their feet. Is this room for speculation?
I think it is, because further into the story it stated that the damage was caused to his head.
Yeah.
And you're right about trap guns. A trap gun in the forest would probably not be created to aim at someone's head, probably to catch a feet or a hand, something.
Okay.
So the story is fragile, So I guess the investigators would do their job, and an autopsy would probably reveal the truth about what really happened.
In addition, I mean to say, I'm questioning, Camille, that part about digging for yams. You go to a river with your friend.
Correct.
Your friend remains by the river. I don't know what the friend is doing. They didn't give us that information. You go off to look for yam. But I mean, a digging process is something we could do together. When you go off, it takes you 2 hours to realize I have been
Well,
gone.
I found that strange, Randolph, because, I mean, I thought they went together, and I felt, it had me think, you know how they say friends carry and they don't bring you back? That's what I was like, we went together. So I thought this is a process we would do together, not you wander off, and then I'm here, and then, but I find my way out. So it had me wondering, did they have a falling out in between that? I mean, there's a lot of speculation. As I said, we will know more.
Have some blockbusters.
Correct. It will evolve. Hopefully, once they do the proper investigation. It's just unfortunate, again, that this sort of thing had to happen.
Well, yeah, on top of that, though, if we're looking at this type of area, there is wildlife. Hunting season is closed there, but you would find the agoutis, the manicous, different type of things around that Maturita going into the Valencia forest type of area. So it could be a situation where they were looking for wild meat. But as we start to wrap up this topic, how do we find precautions for entering the forest? If it is we're going into the forest for any type of expedition, what are the precautions we can take? Whether it's for digging yams or any other type of activity.
I'm thinking safety in numbers. I'm not going by myself. And for whatever reason, we do not separate. That's the safety factor. We go together. We come out together.
What if
because
everybody
forest is not something to play with.
And you, Jameen, we're going into the forest, any type of activity. What are your safety precautions?
Maps.
Well, yeah.
GPS. At least on one person. And as Camille say, if you're going with a group, stay together.
Correct.
Yeah. And once again, condolences to the family. What was his name again, guys?
Karen Ross.
Karen Ross. Condolences to the family of Karen Ross from all of us here at PlusTV. It's really an unfortunate incident, regardless of how we look at it, how we analyze it. A young man's life is gone, and may his soul rest in peace. May the family find comfort and all those kind of things. But as we move on, guys, let's get to a little lighter topic. Something that all of us resonate with: music. Music. And I want us to think for a minute, all our viewers out there, when you hear a song, yes, it appeals to you, it can relax you, it can excite you, it can give you the encouragement to exercise, it can give you focus sometimes, make you lazy. But what are all the different aspects of a song that does this? Because besides the words, we have the rhythm, we have the beat, we have the combination of a whole set of different instruments, the way we use the chording, the arrangements. People don't understand. When I'm speaking to you, there are 2 things I have: my words and my tone. Just 2 elements. Compare that to a song. There are 6, 7, 8 elements of that. And something that people don't really look at often enough are the health benefits of music. It can provide physiological therapy, pain reduction, enhance the recovery process. It can help with focus, relaxation, healing. What are your